How's it going, everybody? It's Ward here with another video, and we just hit in Legends League today and went plus 23 in the top 300. I went plus 300, which isn't too bad, or I guess 296 to be exact. Yesterday was a better day with only one time fail. I couldn't get a video out because I've been very busy with volleyball the last couple days, but yeah, that was how today went. Couple mistakes. You'll see the 77% was quite atrocious. The 96, a little unfortunate, but yeah, still a mistake, so we'll clean those ones up, but definitely the 77, very disappointed in. Some decent defense, though. And yeah, final day of the season is tomorrow. So you'll see right here, yep, 1 day left. Sitting at number 5 in Canada, and we'll see where we're finishing tonight. We are sitting at 295, so top 300 again. This is with 30 minutes left in the day, so we'll probably push a little higher as more defenses come in and maybe finish top 250 or something. But that'll be today's video. We've got the King with only the spiky ball not maxed. And as far as the army goes, when the Barchers got taken out with 10 Barchers that I had 30 housing space, I switched it for 3 more Rocket Loons from 15 to 18 and an extra Wizard and an extra Minion. So that's what I've got different in my army. But I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. And yeah, let's get into the attacks. All right, everybody. We're getting the first one here. It's Al Mualin from Tompanai Empire. This is a pro player. Yeah. And this base is quite interesting. I don't know, I was looking at maybe a builder hut in the core to get, like, you know, even the multi on the other side, like all of the core out. But then I was, just checking where my Warden would go. He'd kind of be between two Expos, Hero, Multi-Arch, Ricochet. It'd just be too much damage. So I'm going to charge a corner and go for the Multi-Arch. And yeah, I think I start him first. Yep. And then go into the Flinger. So I like the Flinger value taking down this Expo. It should be pretty easy just sniping out. You know, this Flinger. I actually dropped the Barbs, one to check for Skellies, but also you saw sometimes there's Tesla, so I was just checking to see if there was any Tesla. And yeah, that's a beautiful setup right there. And yeah, this one started off really clean. The Warden just doing his thing, slowly walking. Didn't mean to put that wall breaker down. And then at this point, I think I didn't need that other Rocket Loon as well, so that was kind of wasted, but it is what it is. Warden walks in right here. He's going to take a little bit to get through this because I do like, and I'll notice it right here, that if I invis the Crusher and multi, and I'm just looking around at the other things, but if I invis the Crusher multi and the multi-archer tower, I can already hit the multi-archer tower in the core with just 2 invis. So I noticed that and went for a little bit of a funnel here, taking down the wizard tower and builder hut because of that, easy fireball afterward. So right here, the Warden just continues walking. He takes that down. I don't want him to wait too long, so I take down the builder hut, I think, after he takes that down. Yep. That goes down, and I see that I'm ready because I can just use 2 invis, as I said. Really nice setup for the value that this gets. Yeah, that's a nice fireball. I want my Warden to continue around to the right. Then it sets up a nice path. I started my heroes in this queen compartment because then it would force my Flinger up to the gear tower, which isn't that bad value. That's actually good value. Yeah, so that's why I did what I did. And Warden's continuing to chill. He's behind a Spitter, so I don't even have to look at him for a bit right there, and I know that. I do think on this one, like I should know right here, okay, Spitter just died, so he's got Skellies, but then he's going to go to Expo and Rico. And I think I look away right here, which is poor timing because, yeah, you see right here, if you're looking at the top of the screen, the Warden's walking in to some damage. I'm not looking at him. I'm looking down at the Queen, the Baby Dragon, and then I see my Warden's health go down, so I barely got that invis off in time. That would have been a little scary, so I'm glad. I got that, and then they're popping the Queen ability at full health is really, really important because if you let her go down in like auto pop, she dies right away, and then there's just one less, clone, I guess. I know it's the real Queen and not a clone, but like, yeah, if you let her die right away, just less damage, and the other ones will then die quicker, and yeah, it's just not great. So right here, you see me, I still got a Rage, still got my Minion Prince. We go for a really nice swag on this one. I had 40 seconds, so it was pretty comfortable. And then I thought I used 3 wizards right here to get the wizard tower down. It died right away to the the sprung wall breaker. So this base was absolutely crushed. I snuck some minions in to get the crusher mortar. And yeah, we get the nice swag on a Minion Prince and a Rage in legend mode, which is quite impressive. And let's get in the next one. All right, this base I've hit a number of times, and I feel like I do it differently every time. I'm not going to lie. It never seems to go exactly, to plan or anything. And I was looking at it thinking if maybe there was a better way I should be approaching this one. And yeah, I always hit this Expo at the top. Gets the Spitter, Rico, Expo, Multi-Arch, Clan Castle. Like 5 really good buildings. So I'm going to do it again. And I think every time I tell myself, okay, the Warden, I've gone into the Town Hall. I want him to go left, though. and every single time he walks towards the town hall, and I just let it happen. So I don't know. It seems to triple every time when I go to the town hall, so I guess I'll let it go. But what I'd like to do is take out this section. I don't have any more Barchers anymore. Obviously, you know that went away with the event, which is really key here. So just one Headhunter is nice on the Royal Champion. Because, yeah, you don't want to have, you need to have some Headhunters, especially right here. The King comes out. And then since we took out the Clan Castle, I just poisoned the Minion Prince later. So that works out well. But, yeah, I even try to put my Flinger a little down to the bottom there so it can go get the scatter on the bottom versus the Expo on the top there, if you see what I'm talking about, in the 6 and 3 o'clock compartments. And, yeah, the Warden's doing well right here. I just know, like, okay, Town Hall and multi with one Minion Prince shot will be scary, so I can't mistime this poison, and I nail it right there. Perfect poison, perfect rage. He was still taking some damage, though, because the Town Hall was hitting heavy, so I wanted to try and funnel out some buildings and make this a little easier, but, yeah, he was looking good. This is what happens every time. I'm like, you know, Town Hall is a terrible charge, but then every time he's just like this with, you know, isolating the Town Hall. It takes it down easy. And then I start my Sui in from this section, and yeah, that was looking really nice. The King gets wall broken in. And I did have a skeleton spell that I was thinking about running to, sorry about that notification, that I was thinking about running into, one of these sections. But I did use it on this 3 o'clock side, and that was mostly for the ricochet cannon and stuff that would damage the Warden. I don't think it would have anyway, so it was probably swagged. I wanted to use it over on the Monolith and Gear Tower. Probably should have, because like I said, I don't think it was really used that well. But yeah, this one came down interesting. Like I said, maybe that skeleton spell would have made all the difference. But on this one, I was waiting for a good Minion Prince ability. Couldn't really find the best angle for it. And then right here, he lines up to the Spitter. He's still healthy, lines up to this. And I just couldn't find it. And then luckily, I saw that timing beautifully. Right as he hit the Giga Bomb and was pushed back, he lined up and I shot it. So at this point, I knew the base was crushed. There's just nothing left that could kill all my damage because it was frozen so much. So yeah, this one was a nice triple. And we don't mind this at all, that's for sure. And yeah, good start to the day. And let's go see what happens in the next one. All right, you guys know this base. It is very popular, and it's a little different. They got the Spitters facing down, and there's a Minion Prince guarding the Inferno. You see me touching it there, trying to see if I can, take him out of the multi-range. But it is a little different. And what I was thinking was, okay, I could maybe snipe out the Wizard Tower and then the Mortars and try to set up a Flinger, but that was too much, I think, with the King there, trying to really get all that down. So I was just going to charge, Fireball the Spitter like normal, get the Flinger I think I was planning at the bottom. But you'll see what happens right here. I'm thinking about doing that Flinger. And just right here, like, honestly, this attack I was quite disappointed in, I'm not going to lie. Right here, the Warden's going to step up, and I am literally staring at him like I have nothing else going on. 2 Expos and a multi-Archer Tower. I just put a balloon. I don't know what I thought that balloon was going to do, but, like, that would never work. So, yeah, that was quite disappointing. I was just like, are you serious? Like, what in the world was that? So, yeah, that was a little unfortunate. But we, transfer the healers to the Queen. And we're going in kind of save mode right here. You see me snipe out the Wizard Tower so the Ice Golem can actually penetrate and get a really good angle. And I get the Skeleton Spell on the right side of the Crusher Mortar there to not let it bounce. And this is key, is if you put your Skeleton Spell where it can bounce off the Skellies to your heroes, not good. But over here, it bounces into nothing. Pretty beautiful. And I was trying to decide what to do right here. I wanted the Crusher Mortar to hit, or the King to hit the Crusher Mortar. I wanted to probably Rage my Queen eventually. Missed the spiky ball there, and at this point I should have been invising my healers a little bit more. I did end up doing that, so it's not the end of the world, but like right there, like I didn't need to take the second shot from the Town Hall and stuff like that. So yeah, I definitely could have done I think a better job with those invis spells, but yeah, at this point, my Warden died. I know I'm not tripling, so I did transfer right into the Town Hall, and I'm trying to find a good spot for my Minion Prince. I do see a couple of spots. I was thinking about going on the left there where there was just a Ricochet Cannon and maybe, try to really crush through that base. But that wasn't really going to work, so I just sent it over here onto the Queen. The double Headhunter I knew was going to die to the Ricochet Cannon, but it would just still slow down the Queen enough before the Minion Prince killed her, so I wasn't really going to worry about it. At this point, Queen ability, I should have popped a hair earlier to try and keep these healers alive. They ended up staying alive anyway. And there's the Minion Prince ability, just beautiful, because my Queen's not going to get any farther than what was just frozen, so it just helps her out. And yeah, I wanted to get as much percentage as I could, so I'm trying to take down these mortars, trying to take down all that trash in that area. And I did get a decent, I think 75% on this one. But yeah, I mean, obviously that start just was awful, so there's not really any coming back from that. And at this point, I determined saving my minion prince wasn't worth it because he might hit a black mine, and it was just for one building versus my queen might get the mono and something else. She didn't anyway, but that's what I was thinking. But yeah, really disappointed just with how that went. And wow, okay, the Dodgers just hit a home run in the 11th inning. That's what I'm looking at on the side as well, because I'm recording the voice after, and obviously being from Canada, we're rooting for the Blue Jays, but now they're down 5-4 with 2 outs, so we'll see what they can do. And yeah, this attack comes to an end. Okay, 77%. And yeah, this base, as you can tell, very nice. I like to do on this bases, what I like to do on these bases is hit the multi-arch tower or multi-gear, like the section that, will get the clan castle as well. And I think I went from 6 o'clock here, but I would have switched that up if I could go back to this one, because then I can go with my warden to the world champion, which is better than the queen always, as I mentioned. And the clan castle is actually 1 tile closer to this side. So yeah, looking back at this one, I should have, I think, changed that up, and I would if I get this base again, because it's just an easier hero. And like I said, I think I do pull part of the clan castle here, and it kind of slows me down, so I can avoid that. This one was a little odd, and you'll see what I do, which is this mortar kind of is a little unfortunate. I wanted that hog to just check for skelly traps, and it actually ended up doing a lot more damage than I thought it should have to that air defense, which meant my flinger couldn't bounce off it. But right here, these rocket balloons do huge work and actually get it down, and that'll let my flinger cook. And I was actually worried the furnace would go towards it, but it actually didn't, so we were looking good right here. And yeah, the warden is just walking. I think I was waiting for this scatter shot to go down, because then it was just a simple triple invis. I'm funneling out everything else but the scatter shot, the bomb tower compartment and town hall, and then there's my nice fireball. So this one was looking quite beautiful. And right here, I get a headhunter and I sneak that in just to help out while under ice block, and that's how you do that and get the queen done. So I didn't want to wait too long and miss my invis, like let them come back. So I was trying to do that very, very quickly, but I do get a nice pull on the warden. Wasn't sure if it would pull him, but I was trying to right there, and I'll invest a rage because the flinger setup was amazing and the fireball was amazing. So I'm not so worried on this base how it's going to end up. Yeah, I've been going with the regular wall breakers in front just to help with, sometimes there's those spring traps that keep getting my wall breakers, and I struggle to open up the base. So that's what I do. And yeah, on this one, you'll see right here, sneaking in a headhunter with a rocket balloon in front just to tank in case anything is shooting me. I'll even freeze up the air defenses because there's nothing else in the area. Like, there's 2 ground expos. So this base was absolutely slammed. And once again, the power of the minion prince is it's avoiding the double ground expos, and that ability is unreal. Right here, slowing down everything that's left for my queen. She's just going to destroy the back end of the base now. She might have anyway, and she probably would have. But yeah, it just makes it that much more confident, I think, and comfortable to not really risk any mistakes. So this one was a very, very clean triple. Obviously, like we mentioned, easy base for fireball, but still had to do it. So a nice triple nonetheless. And now we get into a pretty typical base, and you'll see this one a lot in the meta as well. I don't know if this is an exact base. I think it looked a little different to me with the expo placements, and I don't know, maybe it wasn't actually now looking at it, but you can go for a ricochet cannon fireball, and that's decent value. But what I started doing, which I find much more successful, is fireballing the town hall itself, because then it will go get both ricochet cannons with the clan castle. So I like that value. And you see what I do right here. I don't know why I thought that mortar didn't go down right there, but it totally did. But I like to set up that flinger because it just gets 2 big buildings in the multi-gear and the multi-arch tower. Sometimes it goes against the scatter shot depending on how I angle it, but I don't think I angled it for that. The problem on this base is that you got to be really careful for is when you're going in with your warden right there, there's 2 X-bows and a monolith, and then also the Gigabomb. So I actually sent 2 rocket balloons hoping that it'll pull the Gigabomb, and it actually did. Plus, I was just trying to damage the monolith, so that worked out really well. And right here, honestly, is a perfect case of better be safe than sorry. I totally did not need that, but I was worried with those 3 defenses that I might get into trouble, so I just popped that right there. And I noticed that after this builder hut went down, I got a really nice setup for 2 invis spells right there. I just made sure that that was closer, and it was, and I hit the fireball. Really nice value. And at this point, I'm just trying to judge where my warden's going to go. I think with the helper hut right there, and then collector and expo, he's going to continue to the top side. And yeah, right here I noticed that he's going to go to the collector next. So I set up my Sui on the left side, and really nice right there. You see with the baby dragon and then king pushing in, queen pushing in. That's how you funnel them so that your king doesn't walk and stuff like that. So that worked out really nicely for me. My king is doing well. I see my warden, I'm watching him a bit in this damage, so I'm going to invis him, and then the town hall dropped. So I probably didn't need that invis as well, but just again, another case of better be safe than sorry. At this point, I used the minion prince to help out the warden because I thought my heroes were fine. My queen actually was taking a lot of damage, and this is a great example of you got to pop your queen earlier, because right here she's very weak, and I don't know if she'll go down, but any giant bomber springtrap would get her. And on this one, I was confident with my minion prince through this area, but I remember at this point the metal pants wore off and the ability, and I was like, hold on a minute, there's not, he might not get this whole section, so he did. And that was very nice and comforting because I wasn't really sure if he would. And then, the minion prince is still cooking right here. The giant really clutches up on this one with the Yetis taking out that and just distracting the king, because at this point, my headhunter died to the multi, so the king probably would have killed my warden. I'm not sure because, the giant killed it, but, that was scary. So, giant did really, really well on this one. And overall, we've been having an amazing day, and this is a base from Igor's subscription. I actually have this base, so I've hit it in friendly challenges many times, and I was very confident going into this one. So what I wanted to do is charge a compartment either 9 o'clock or 3 o'clock, and you want to fireball the ricochet cannon because that gives you both ricochet cannons, like the one in the core gives you both ricochet cannons, multi-inferno and clan castle. I was trying to remember if I set up a flinger anywhere at the top side or anything. I don't know. It's very difficult to set up a flame flinger on this base because you can either take out an expo at 3 o'clock, or at 12 o'clock or 3 o'clock, and you'll maybe get a multi-arch tower, but there's just so many buildings in those areas, and if I remember correctly, I think the Teslas are over there, so it is very difficult. But I think at this point the fireball is very nice on this base, so just a siege barracks will do. And you'll actually see that this one got really close, and I wasn't very happy with what happened here. So warden managing this really well, and this is one thing I started changing. I don't know if I've actually made a video talking about this yet, but I'm using the regular balloons just to test for traps or take out buildings that are on the exterior, sort of like the Barchers did, because the rocket balloons are just that valuable. And I'm not using them to pull the warden anymore. So if I do need to pull the warden, I'm actually going to go in with 4 rocket balloons, because I think it's worth expending the 4 regular balloons to get, just buildings out of the way or testing for traps, and then you can get your rocket balloons deeper in the base to actually take out defenses or, test deeper, stuff like that. So at this point, easy 3 invis. I wasn't sure if I actually hit that one very well on the multi, but I did. Fireball lands, and you'll notice what I do on this one is I want to take out the mono and then get my warden going right. I placed the skelly, and then that's when I decided I wanted to go right, so that was a bit of a mistake. I think you'll see right here. Oh, sorry, no, never mind. Now I remember. I placed the skelly because I did want my warden to go this direction, and then I started my Sui over here. Forgot about that, because I don't elect to go through this section. But I poisoned the minion prince because he's a little deeper, and that's hard to get to. My mistake in this one was, I should have either waited on my heroes for my warden to take out this collector, but because of the time, and I don't think that was very much of a mistake, I should have just pulled my warden like I was trying to do there a little later. But yeah, he joins in right here, and that's a little unfortunate, but this is a phenomenal spiky ball. Look at that. It gets the town hall and crusher mortar and almost takes out the multi, so that's unreal. And at this point, obviously my warden was lunging, and I didn't like that, and all my healers were dying, but I was still very confident because of how well that Sui did. And right here, I just freeze because I wasn't sure what was left. Popped the minion prince ability, so I probably didn't need to freeze then, but I wanted to take down that building, and there's not much base left, so I was pretty comfortable at this point knowing my minion prince is going to solo there. I just got to worry about this air defense, and then my warden and queen will do well here. But then things started to go south. My warden kind of peeled off here and just died and did nothing. My queen went to ability and, took more damage than I thought before they got this multi down, so she was weaker, and time was ticking. So at this point, I was a little worried. I'm not going to lie that I wasn't going to get this one in time. So the queen dies right there, and at this point, I thought it was time failing for sure. But I did notice some minions at the bottom. So I wanted to see where my minion prince went. And when I saw that he was going to go down for this gold storage, I was like, all right, he's going to take that down in time, so I got to make sure the top goes down in time. And so I rage up the giant, and queen, and somehow, some way, we still get a triple on this one. It was very, very close on time, but phenomenal execution once the warden got pulled. So yeah, I was very happy with that one. But anyways, now we're getting into the next one, and This guy I played with in just ordinary, so once again, I really wanted to make sure I got this triple. And this is one where I did want to go for taking out the mortars at the bottom and taking out the Barbarian King and then going for a Flame Flinger. And I did go for a Fireball onto the Multi-Inferno. I wasn't entirely sure about... okay, I thought I set up my Warden here. Yeah, I set up my Warden first. I wasn't entirely sure if it would hit the mono. What I should have done is waited to see. There was no builder huts in the area. And at this point, like, I left the Ricochet Cannon up because it's just one Rocket Loon. I shouldn't have used a Quake there, and I should have used 2 on the mono. But at the same time, since there was no builder huts, I knew that, I'd be fine with the Monolith being 1 HP because it's going to stay 1 HP, and I'll probably get it down with a Spiky Ball or, like, a Rocket Loon later in the attack. At this point, I'm just trying to take down the King. Keeping an eye on my Warden, really don't want to, let him go down. So I'm paying quick attention, and yeah, Warden's on the Minion Prince now, and so I know he's going to take that down and be safe for a second. So I'm just making sure that King goes down. My Flinger's ready. I go back down to the bottom. I use a Hog, I think, to test. Check my Warden once more. I see that he's pretty safe, and then I'm going to set up this Flinger. So a lot of looking back and forth here, but beautiful, beautiful Flinger setup for 3 really crucial buildings. So always do that if you can. And yeah, Warden, once again, has decided he's going to go this way. So I'm trying to pull this Poison Tower, but that balloon was in a bad spot. I need to put it directly on the Poison Tower so that the Multi-Arch Tower and Builder Hut can't take it down before the Poison Tower can trigger, especially the Multi-Arch Tower. So right there, I finally target the Poison Tower, and it gets pulled, which is beautiful. It just slows down your Sui, and it does damage, but mostly slows them down. Their attack speed and movement speed, I don't need to deal with that. And yeah, on this one, we're going to go for the King on that angle, to go from collector to collector and then into the base. So that's just a beautiful pathing of the King. Like, that's how you got to use your Sui, is you don't just drop them in randomly. You got to place them to make sure that they go into the base. And this one was looking really nice. I'm funneling out this bottom side, and there goes the King ability probably, yep, right there. And there goes the Spiky Ball. So like I said, it would probably take down the Monolith, and it did. But I should have saved my Quakes and taken it down for sure. Yeah, Warden was getting a little weak here, so I just invis him. Queen, they're out of the spitter range, which is nice, but I'm just looking at this base like, where's my trouble? And I noticed there's a lot of trouble on this right side versus what the left side's looking like. So right here, we do a little bit better. Queen ability goes off. And this is similar to the base that I failed on, but yeah, it's definitely a little different. So a different play. But yeah, this is what we go for. And Minion Prince with Rocket Loons do really, really well right there. And yeah, this is doing really well. My Minion Prince is about to die, though, which was a little risky. And the Sui's actually not doing well as well. So this one is getting very close, but the Flame Flinger is still alive. I think I freeze yet to let the Giant cook right there. And yeah, Warden actually getting pulled in by the Minion Prince before he died is huge, because now he's going to go take down the Town Hall, get it out of the way for sure, because I was very worried about that going down. And not only did it go down, but the Warden takes down the storage and the Clan Castle by just being put in the perfect position. So that Minion Prince, like, split second pulling the Warden was unreal. And I believe this is the last one. And this is a very tough base. So what I wanted to do on this one was, okay, fireballing the actual hook tower could be difficult. Maybe hitting a Builder Hut in the core, looking back at this, or an Air Sweeper trying to get the Clan Castle would have been quite easy if I charged from 6. Maybe I should have done that now that I'm looking back at this. But what I did do to be, a little bit easier was a quick fireball and then try to Sui into the hook tower. So at the same time, I noticed up top here has a very easy flinger. So I just got these 2 buildings. When I saw that Tesla pop, actually, I sent in, I think, a Hog to check for another Tesla maybe on the right of the pet house. Yep. I didn't find anything. So Warden starts in from the bottom, like I said. Maybe I should have started him earlier and just not waste this 10 seconds. But regardless, yeah, Warden's walking, and I wanted to fireball the air defense, but then at the same time, I noticed just hitting the scatter shot, I can get the spitter, and I'll probably walk these buildings anyways. So the air defense would probably get the Expo, but it gets the Multi-Inferno. Like, it definitely gets more value, but at the same time, I can Warden walk for a bit and fireball deeper, which is usually a better play. So that's what we're going to go for. And yeah, Warden's walking right here, and I'm looking for my Invis setup. I'm letting him take the Tesla, and then I will go for an Ice Block. And you'll see kind of what happens right here. So Ice Block goes off. There's my Invis setup. I think I Invis the Expo to be safe. No, I didn't. Okay. That was pretty easy, though. And at this point, I was feeling pretty good. I think I wanted my Warden to go right and then just straight Sui the hook tower is what I was looking for. But he didn't get pulled by this. So once I saw that he wasn't getting pulled, I just gave up on that plan because I think that would have worked out really, really well, actually. But then I went for the Sui. You see me using the Baby Dragon here to try to funnel. King, once again, going storage and then in. Maybe on this one, maybe I should have sent him just in front of the queen so he wasn't alone like this and fighting the gear tower without, any support. But this one got sketchy because with all these rocket loons, I didn't want my warden or my king to pop early. So I popped a freeze right there. I was ready to invis and just pop his ability right here. And he gets hooked in just before he dies. So that was a little close, not going to lie. But once again, queen's doing well right here. I wanted to get rid of this multi. Like, it fried my healers. And they just took forever. I think I should have maybe went queen earlier to make sure it went down. But yeah, this one, I think I could have put a better skeleton spell as well in here to make sure that it avoided the multi-inferno and just tanked the monolith. But this minion prince I knew was going to cook when I saw this base originally. There's just no air defense in the area. So I'm trying to maybe push him into the town hall earlier by funneling out this right side. But you'll see what I do right here, which is a little bit of my mistake. So right here, minion prince goes in, and I think I could have waited a little bit longer. I didn't need to pop the ability quite just yet, and that would have helped if I just held on to that a second longer. So that would have been maybe step one. And then this rage spell, I didn't think, like, I have rocket loons right there, and I thought this base was kind of crushed, not gonna lie, with how my minion prince was going. So I just raged my warden to help with time because I saw time was low. But then I realized I thought my warden would step where the healers were in range of the rage when the queen was fighting him. And then I realized that the queen was closer than I thought, and she came out, stepped up, killed him. So a couple things. Obviously, I should have maybe fireballed deeper the hook tower, or if I wanted that same approach, have the warden go separate than the heroes. Or when that went the way it did, I think I should have held the minion prince for a little bit longer to, slow the defenses when my warden actually got there. But yeah, that'll do it for the video. I hope you guys enjoy, and peace.